So here we're back on Old Stories with me, Reverend Sean of the Centered Path, and one of the ones I like to share is my first assignment from a monk. I was spending time at Rosebead Buddhist Monastery in California, and it's a monastery that was kind of Pure Land, kind of Chan, kind of Burmese, a lot of Vietnamese, Chinese. So it was a real mishmash, and that's how I started with Buddhism. One of the monks there, Dao Yuan, was a Chinese Chan-style monk. And he had previously been, I think, like a postal inspector or something like that in his previous days. And my teacher, Chao Chu, or Bante Chao Chu, as you would call him, or Venerable Chao Chu, he was the abbot. And I would go there and I'd spend Sundays or whatever day it was helping out where I can. And I would do things like move rice bags or sweep or do gardening or change light bulbs or paint or help with paperwork or whatever it was. And one day we were having a big celebration. It was early on. I was very, very new to the place. This was right after, probably around, maybe before 9/11, I guess it was, somewhere in time, like 2001, 2000, maybe 1999, 2000, 2002, somewhere in there. And I had gone to the temple for one of the celebration days, and I can't remember what it was at this point. It could have been like Ancestor Worship Day, or it could have been a ceremony, it could have been a funeral, I don't remember. But one of the things we would do is we had two halls. We had a big dining hall, and in the back of the dining hall was a giant kitchen, and we set up tables, and they'd have like a free luncheon, which was vegetarian or vegan food, and it was really good. And the other one was the memorial hall, and then we had the main Buddha hall. And we were doing ceremonies that day, and it was all very official, and it was very pomp and circumstance and all that kind of stuff. And I was just a lay person at that time. I was helping out, and we were talking about meditation after the group's meditation that day, and we had a class, and we were going to have lunch. And one of the monks came to me and says, "Sean, I have an assignment for you." And I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to get my first quest." That's what it felt like. It totally felt like a quest, like a side quest or a main quest, right? And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. He's going to give me a special, like, meditation process. And it's going to be this, like, and I'm going to have to see secrets and all this kind of stuff. He's like, you need to follow me. I said, whoa, well, this is good. He's not letting anybody else do it. He's giving it to me. I must be special. Maybe they see something in me, right? I was thinking in that old, like, Chinese kung fu movie way of finally they give you the quest, or they give you the thing to do, which proves that you're good enough to be with them. So he brings me around to the back of the building. We walk around this alleyway. We go by these beautiful little trees with like scented blossoms and all this stuff. And this is gonna be great. Comes back, there's a table. There's a giant pot about maybe 15 inches wide, 25 inches tall, big giant aluminum pot. And he reaches over, he says, I need you to do something for me. And he hands me a big tin of country time lemonade. He says, I need you to make 10 gallons of lemonade and don't spill any. And I'm like, so wait, I thought this was a meditation. He says, it is. It's a stirring meditation. It's going to be your lemonade meditation. So that was my very first one ever, my first thing. And that started me on helping the monks and the nuns a little more in depth. So now I was on the inside. I got to go to the kitchen, and I would do things like washing and cleaning and cooking and things like that. And that's how I started. I mean, I was a white dude, and I didn't speak any Chinese, and there was a lot of people who didn't speak any English. There was a lot of Chinese and Vietnamese there, some Burmese. There was a Burmese group there that also met. And I just kind of like folded myself in over time. They began to trust me, and I became eventually a Buddhist minister at that same temple. I didn't become a monk because that's a whole other story. I'll tell you later. Don't forget to subscribe at the bottom if you haven't done so already, and watch the other video there. This is Reverend Sean over the Center Path. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care.